Social psychology. No, goodbye, screen. Okay, it's like my 10th time trying this. All right, what is social psychology? Social psychology is the study of how social influence, social perception, and social interaction influence individual and group behavior. Social psychology is in a variety of different fields. Literally, you name it, social psychology has a part in it. Why did I choose this topic? Mostly because of what I just said. Um, the Milgram experiment, it was really interesting, and you could see how people were enjoying inflicting pain on other people, and then you could also see the fear in people's eyes when obviously it's an experiment, but it was really interesting to see how people didn't want to inflict pain even if it was the lowest voltage. And then background on social psychology. Some of the most famous social psychology studies involved experiments that would see if people were going to do something they knew was wrong, if they felt enough pressure from authority figures. And then it's really interesting just to see how people act when there are authority figures around, or if they feel like they can just do what they please and whatnot. Key con Key concepts. Influence. Will the person do what's morally right or wrong? Social psychology is in everything. Like I said, business, politics, school, outside, literally anything. Groupthink is a huge part of social psychology. It's a quick and easy way to refer to a mode of thinking that people engage in when they are deeply involved in a cohesive in-group. The classic studies that we didn't learn in class, we touched on it a little bit, but in addition to the Milgram experiment, the Ash conformity experiments happened in the 1950s, and the goal of the experiment was to find out how much social pressure from a group could persuade another person. So basically, there were seven people in a room, and there was only one real participant, which was the person who didn't know that they were part of this experiment. And the six quote unquote Confederates were giving all the wrong answers, and that one participant that was in the experiment needed to decide what their answer would be, or if they would give their own answer or conform to what the other six people in the room were doing. And then the Bobo doll experiment, which happened in the 1960s, children interacted with a real life-size inflatable doll, um, and they watched adults play with the doll, and then the children who watched the aggressive model were more likely to act aggressively toward the doll. And then recent studies, this one came out in 2024. People don't want to stand out anymore. They want to fit in because if they feel like they stand out, they're going to be ostracized. And then more people are wanting to blend in instead of stand out. And they also don't want to challenge groupthink, which is basically not having your own opinion, like going with the flow, going with the group, the majority. And when you don't try to stand out and be yourself, it can lead to guilt, anxiety, and sometimes even more animosity between people, which I found really interesting. Social psychology today has come a long way. In 2025, we have so many different methods of research, and there's so much conflict and division that we need to do more research for social psychology to figure out what is right and wrong in society. And then applied social psychology is basically the theories, principles, and methods. It's research, and they're trying to figure out a reduction of social problems. And they're just looking at today's issues and seeing how we can solve them. And then the future projections. We don't know how we're affecting others' day-to-day lives, but with more research and partnering with different fields, we're going to be able to see how we can really influence others with social psychology. And then it's going throughout the classroom and beyond. It's actually wanting to create happiness and motivation within classrooms and beyond, which is what I just said. Okay, so there are issues with like what is good and what is bad, and basically these topics have to do with how we're treated and how we treat others. There is no wrong answer. because it's really hard to place a value on human life. Like the trolley question, it's basically like, do you save five people? Do you save one person and sacrifice five? Or do you sacrifice one and save five people? How do we place the value on those lives? And in conclusion, it's a really interesting to see how we influence others in such a powerful way and how we influence people around us. Thank you. Those are my references.